All right, we're all set. We're ready to do this. I got to be honest, I'm going to change my shirt. This is a special occasion and special occasions require special shirts. All right, much better. Nothing says you should take advice from me like a guy wearing a hat that says dad and a shirt that's a unicorn. Everyone, welcome back to the episode of Really Bad Advice. It's been about 4 years since wait, has it really? No, it's been 5 years. Anyway, over the course of the last couple of player reviews, I've been asking you guys to do hashtag really bad advice, and then you leave your comments down below, basically situations or questions in which you need my advice, because as everyone knows, I'm smart. Now, I was going through the comments and I found around 6 of these, so let's go through, let's crack them out, let's see what advice I can give to you that's hashtag really bad advice. Do I have an intro for this? Really bad advice. All right, the first question, I also took this off because that means it's game time. The first question is from Tommy Gianfrani. I'm going to say your name how the Italians want it to be said. And Tommy wants to know, should I play FIFA? Now, the problem with this question is Joe has gone ahead and answered it for us. So I'm going to start screaming now. Should I play FIFA is a very good question because, as everyone knows, we don't have very much going on. We're still in a pandemic. A lot of us are locked down. Very few of us have the ability to go outside and play soccer, play football, play the game that we watch on TV every week. I mean, what do you have out there in the world? You've got PES, you've got Football Manager, which has been called the Oregon Trail of football games. It's a pretty apt description. And then you have FIFA, also known as the gambling casino of football games, which is also yet again a very apt description. So I would say, I don't know, Tommy, what do you want in life? Do you want to be rich? Do you want to be famous? This is hashtag really bad advice. So I'm going to say yes, you should play FIFA because if you play FIFA and get really, really good, you can then go on Twitch. And it doesn't matter that you'll have to spend $5,000 US currency to get a team that can compete with these other pros. It doesn't matter. And because the reward will be $10,000. You've made $5,000. Now, how will you pay for housing? How will you pay for food? How will you pay for anything else? Doesn't matter because at the end of the day, Tommy, you have the ability to say, I have team of the season Kylian Mbappe. Thank you for that. You've been advised. Another question comes from Ryan who asks, when making a cup of tea, do you put the milk in first or at the end? Hashtag really bad advice. This is an interesting one because I didn't start drinking tea until very recently. The only tea I ever had was sweet tea, and you don't add milk to that because you add 10 pounds of sugar. So if you were to ask me, should you put milk in sweet tea, I would say no. But recently I became sort of an Englander, like from the Isles, and so I started drinking more tea, green, chamomile, peppermint if I'm feeling a little bit frisky. And anyway, with green tea, I started getting afraid that my teeth were going to get messed up because of the stains, and I read that milk actually helps to counteract that. So there's a little bit of a tip for you. With that being said, whenever I would add milk, I would always add it at the end. But this is really bad advice. So I would say don't drink tea, just drink milk. All right, this next question comes from our good friend Reverse Lee, who said, I really hate living at home with my mom and siblings, and I don't make a lot of money. Should I find a cheap apartment or try to find a roommate in a home? Hashtag really bad advice. Now, the issue with this one is this could actually be someone asking for good advice, but the problem is we're playing really bad advice, so I have to give you the opposite of that. There are many things to consider here. When you say, I hate living at home with my mom and siblings, is it because you want to be free and independent? Are there issues between you and your siblings? Is there not enough room for you to expand and grow and become your own man, woman, fly fishing, or dog? I think there are many benefits to finding a cheap apartment and becoming self-sufficient and being free. But at the same time, you also need to understand that money is tough. If you don't make a lot of money, you shouldn't be spending the majority of your money on housing. You need to try to save that money. Money will not buy you happiness, ladies and gentlemen, but what money will buy you is freedom and time, and freedom and time will buy you happiness. The second part of this question also depends on, do you like living with others? Like the first part that I mentioned, do you not like living with your mom and siblings because you need more space? So if you had a roommate with the same issues becoming up, do you need space on your own? Is that the issue here? Or do you want to be free and want to grow up? You don't want to just live with the same people your whole life. A lot of factors here, and I don't feel like I have quite enough information to give you solid advice. But what I would say is family first. You could always just take the money that you have, gamble it in the stock market using options, and then hoping that you make a lot of money. Dogecoin's a thing. You guys want me to give you stock advice and cryptocurrency advice? Just put it all in Doge. Don't actually do that. Please don't do that. That's not financial advice. Reversely, I'm very interested in your situation. If you'd like to come back to me, #reallyBadAdvice. I'll do another one of these if you need it. The next question comes from our friend Ruben98, who seems to have Lionel Messi as his avatar. So I want you to give me all the advice. He wrote, I have a crippling addiction to petting my mini Fellaini figurine on my desk. #reallyBadAdvice. So that's not a question, so I don't know if you're asking how to get rid of that crippling addiction. What I would say is don't get rid of that crippling addiction. We're all weird. Everyone here is weird, and we need to embrace it. What you need to do is turn this into money. Turn this into profit, because as I said earlier, money equals time equals freedom to the next exponent equals happiness. So what can you do here? There's a great show called My Strange Addiction. If you were to write to them and say, hey, TLC, I have a mini Fellaini figurine on my desk. When I'm working, when I'm writing emails, when I'm getting my stuff done, I have to stroke it. Now, be sure when you say it to mention the mini Fellaini figurine before, otherwise we could be in trouble here. Just keep mentioning that, keep writing to them. You can make your own My Strange Addiction. Just do it. YouTube's the thing. Anyway, I hope that helps you, Ruben98. I think you were born in 1998, which means that you're younger than me. So I hate you. All right, this next one comes from my friend Johannes. I assume you're German or in a country that speaks German, so I'm going to say your last name is Echinger. That's incorrect. At the moment, I am trying my best to get into fitness more, working out a few times a week. I remember you working out and improving your football skills. I would say I lack a bit in motivation. What was your mindset like when working out? Maybe that could help me to motivate myself. Now, the problem with this one, Johannes, is I have tried to do motivation and workout I guess, road to glories, if you will, multiple times. And they usually end after about 3 or 4 episodes because I lose the motivation. The thing is, I continue to work out, and I work out almost every day. I wouldn't say I'm in peak physical condition, but I'm in better physical condition than I was 3 years ago. I would say start slow. Have things around you that allow you to work out easily. The biggest issue and why people burn out and stop working out is because they try to do everything at once. They'll go in and say, all right, on Monday, I'm going to do a 3-hour session. And they don't have a game plan. And they just go into the gym or they run like 10 miles and they're like, all right, I'm burnt out and I have no energy. And then you're sore for 3 or 4 or 5 days. And you have that excuse in the back of your mind. I'm too sore to go work out again. And then maybe you work out a week after that. And that doesn't build the consistency that you need. I know a lot of people wouldn't like me advising this, and that's why this is really bad advice, but what I do is I work out for maybe 15 to 20 minutes every day, and I usually do pull-ups. I have a bench press over there. I've increased my bench from like 155 pounds to my max is almost 215 now, and it's because I bench a little bit every day, and it just is what builds me up. What is your motivation? Why do you want to get fit? Do you want to feel better about yourself? Do you want to feel more confident? Do you want to have something else to do outside of playing FIFA or just sitting on the computer all day? Find what drives you and have that inner motivation. It also really helps to have a game plan and to track everything you do. I would advise getting a notebook and planning out before you go into the gym, before you go on your run, before the day even happens. Plan out what you want to do and then execute it, because then you have something to look back on. And if you hit the goals that you set for yourself and you write it down, you'll feel a sense of achievement once you write it down. If you don't hit those goals, then you'll feel like, oh, I've let myself down and I need to hit these goals in the future. It also helps to track it because you want to incrementally get better. So if yesterday you lifted 155 pounds, the next day or whenever your next session is, you'd like to hit 160. And then eventually you'll see that build up and you'll go, wow, I keep building up and I keep getting stronger. And that builds a motivation and factor inside of you where you want to just keep going. So that's my advice to you. It was all over the place and I don't even know what I said, but just do it. If you need more advice, I'm always here. I'm like a bad radio host in the 1980s. And finally, our last one comes from Energy Drink Mad. And I don't know if that username is saying the energy drink's name is Mad, or he's like British and he's going, Brav, energy drink, mad. Anyway, he wrote, thumbs up. Hello, I don't know what to ask. Anyway, I'm struggling to get fit. I play too much FIFA. Well, that's crazy because Johannes just asked something similar. Are you guys the same? Also, with the pandemic, everyone is trying to get in shape because, we're going to eventually come out of our shells, and some people are going to come out weighing 40 more pounds, and that's fine. Live your life. If you want to be 40 pounds heavier, that's fine. But if you want to get motivated and fit, you know what? I think it's good to be healthy. Another thing to add on to this whole getting healthy thing is, how do you want to exercise? Like, what is your goal? Are you trying to get toned? Are you trying to get muscular? Are you trying to lose weight? Having an idea of what you want to achieve is always a great first step because it helps build your mindset to aim towards that goal. If you're just running around mindlessly, you're never going to end up anywhere. It's also a good thing to try different exercises. So some people don't like running. I don't like running. So instead, I do high-intensity interval training. So I bought a punching bag. In my backyard, I have a punching bag, and I'll just go and punch it and pretend I'm Jake Paul for 30 minutes. And it burns a lot of calories and fat, and it's fun. And I sweat so much. It's incredible. So you can always do that. You can jump rope. You can do pull-ups. You can download this thing on your phone that does the beep test. I was doing the beep test for a while. That's a really good one that helps build up your cardiovascular system if you need it. Because personally, everyone just assumes running is the number one thing you do, and you just have to run like 5 miles. And it's not bad to run 5 miles, but I don't like doing it, and I know I won't do it. Another great thing is yoga. Yoga, you can do 30 days with yoga with Adriaan on YouTube. I did that. It was a great series. I felt so flexible and probably the best in terms of my lower back and lower legs that I've felt in a long, long time. So use the resources around you. Don't get baited into buying things and thinking that you need to spend money in order to get fit. You don't need to spend money in order to get fit. And people will spend money because they think that is like job done if you spend the money. I don't like spending money because it makes me think that I've done something when I've accomplished absolutely nil. Anyway, boys, I hope you enjoyed this really bad advice session. If you have other questions, let me know. I'm always happy to give you advice. Do another one, #reallyBadAdvice, down in the comments below, and I'll see you boys next time. Don't forget to pay your dads.